6 o'clock and it's Saturday the 27th of July, and welcome to our weekly news programme. And in the news this week, work to complete repairs to Weymouth Harbour Wall have been delayed yet again. Unknown utility services were found on the site at North Quay, which contractors have had to treat as live until it was determined that they will not pose a risk. This means that work originally expected to have been completed already will now not be completed to at least early September. In February, a 50-metre section of the wall collapsed, leaving a green and white railing alongside the wall suspended in mid-air as the wall beneath sagged into the water. This led to an additional £70,000 being added to the project, which was already costed to cost around £1 million. However, the council now says that the most recent delay is only a 4-week delay on its previous schedule. A spokesman for Dorset Council said the work is scheduled to finish in early September. This is a delay of around 4 weeks on the previous schedule, as our contractor discovered a number of unknown services which had to be treated as live until utility companies could confirm that they did not pose a risk. The repairs have meant that the footpath on the harbour side has been closed since the work began, with part of the road also blocked along North Quay. The council spokesman added the footpath will reopen as soon as it's safe for it to do so. This will likely coincide with the work concluding in early September. The repairs are being funded from the Levelling Up Fund to redevelop the area via a government grant that totals £19.5 million. The Home Secretary has announced this week that the contract for the Bibby Stockholm barge will not be renewed at Portland Port, and therefore the vessel will no longer be in operation from the end of its current contract, which is in January 2025. Councillor Nick Ireland, who's the leader of Dorset Council, said, "We very much welcome the news that the Bibby Stockholm barge will no longer be operational in Portland after January 2025. Our thanks go to the new Labour government for taking an early decision on this. Since the Bibby Stockholm arrived a year ago, we have worked hard to support the residents of the barge and also tried to mitigate the impact on local communities. Dorset Council has been opposed to the barge being sited at Portland Port from the very beginning, as this was never a suitable location for this facility. We will work closely with the Home Office and other partners to ensure the smooth running of arrangements over the final few months." Councillors of Dorset Council have voted to declare a nature emergency at a meeting of the full council on Thursday this week. The motion, which was put forward by Councillor Nick Ireland, leader of Dorset Council, urged council members to recognise that nature is in decline and that urgent action is needed to reverse this. The majority of councillors backed the declaration, with 54 voting to pass the motion, 20 voting against and 4 abstaining. Speaking at the meeting, Councillor Ireland noted that the council would not be starting from scratch. Work is already underway to develop a local nature recovery strategy for the county, which has seen the council work closely with farmers, landowners, businesses and organisations to identify priorities, opportunities and actions to recover nature in Dorset. The declaration commits to further supporting this work, as well as embedding nature's recovery at the heart of the council's plans. Councillor Nick Ireland, who's the leader of the council and cabinet member for climate, said the UK is now widely recognised as one of the world's most nature-depleted countries, and it's critical that we make steps to address this. A thriving natural environment not only makes Dorset a beautiful place to live, it also underpins our local economy and provides the essential things we need to survive, like the air we breathe, the food we eat and the water we drink. Nature-based solutions will also play a huge role in helping our county respond to environmental issues like flooding, climate change and poor water quality. Now, to find out more about the council, what the council is doing to support nature recovery in Dorset and how residents' organisations can play their part, visit the Dorset Council website. A new book exchange service has been launched in Weymouth. Weymouth Youth Council reps Joey and Elliot are pictured on the screen at the newly launched Community Book Exchange project in Weymouth Town Centre. From classics like Jane Austen's Emma to Roald Dahl's Matilda, fictional novels and horrible history titles, there's plenty to choose from, and it's free. The idea is to have books in it so people can take a book but also leave a book for somebody else to read. Members of the Youth Council said, "We are pleased the book exchange is up and running, and just as schools have broken up, the idea is to take a book and leave a book in exchange. But don't worry, if you don't have a book to leave, you can still take one to read. A drama club in Weymouth has received £9,000 boost from 2 separate funds. Weymouth Drama Club is a charity run by its members on a voluntary basis, presenting various community productions throughout the year. It has received £5,000 in National Lottery funding and £4,000 from Dorset Council's Youth Fund. This money will be used to support the work of the club's youth section and to refurbish the toilet facilities to be more welcome and inclusive. Simon Rains, who's the chair of Weymouth Drama Club, said, "We're delighted that the National Lottery Community Fund and Dorset Council's Youth Fund have recognised our work in this way. Now, thanks to these grants, we will be able to deliver more high-quality drama for the community and welcome more members. We accept anyone who has an interest in theatre from 7 to 70 plus. You don't have to act and you don't have to be auditioned unless you would like a part in one of our plays. The club produces plays around the Weymouth area at venues including their own theatre, the Bay Theatre at Weymouth College, Weymouth Bay Methodist Church and Weymouth Pavilion. They have also performed at outdoor venues such as the Knowth Fort and Portland Castle. The next production will be Dracula, which will be performed for 5 nights in October and November, and the auditions will be held on Tuesday, August the 13th from 7:30. Now, if you're interested in the work of Weymouth Drama Club or auditioning for Dracula, drop them an email, and the email address is curtainraisers7, that's curtainraisers7 at gmail.com, curtainraisers7@gmail.com. Now, residents at a Dorchester care home were thrilled to meet a celebrity antiques expert during a special valuation day event. Maiden Castle House Care Home on Gloucester Road welcomed Paul Martin, the presenter of BBC One show Flog It. He's been doing that for about 20 years. To give a talk about the career in antiques, a book signing and a valuation event. All events on the day led by Paul were free for the public to attend, with donations going to the care home's chosen charity, which is Weldmar Hospice Care, which provides care to people with life-limiting illnesses in Dorset. Residents, their families and friends and members of the public congregated on the ground floor lounge of the care home to hear Paul, who is head of valuations at Henry Aldridge and Son Limited, talk about his lifelong love of antiques. Paul then signed copies of his book, and then alongside his colleague Mark Edelson provided valuations of items which residents, families and members of the public had brought in, including a pair of decorative urns, gold jewellery, silver boxes, paintings and ceramics. Ashley Smith, who's the home manager at Maiden Castle House, said, "The residents had a fantastic time meeting Paul Martin. It was lovely to see them enjoying a chat with him and meeting him and being able to talk about their shared interests. At Care South, we prioritise getting to know the residents' hobbies and interests to tailor the activities towards them. So this was a perfect opportunity for them to learn more about antiques." This summer, Dorset Council's new cabinet members are asking residents to help shape the plans and priorities for the next 5 years. Following the local elections in May, councillors are working through their proposed priorities and want Dorset residents to be part of that. Councillor Ryan Hope, who's the cabinet member for Customer, Culture and Community Engagement, would like to host a big conversation with residents from all backgrounds across Dorset. He said, "We are in the process of creating the new council plan. This is so important for everyone in the area as it sets our priorities to deliver over the next 5 years. We created our manifesto based on what we learned while campaigning, but are we on the right track? A big conversation is about talking to our residents and communities and asking what they want from the council over the next 5 years. Everyone's feedback is valued and will make a difference to what the council delivers. Elected members and Dorset Council officers will be at 8 locations across the summer listening to people's ideas. Now, the 3 ones particularly for us here in South Dorset and around Weymouth and Portland are Dorchester at the Foods and Arts Festival, Saturday the 3rd of August, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Portland at Eastern Gardens, Saturday the 24th of August, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Weymouth in New Bond Street, Saturday the 7th of September, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we'll mention those dates again as they come up in the weeks ahead. Officers from Dorset Police Rural Crime Team are investigating the theft of a generator in North Dorset and are issuing an image in a bid to locate it. And you can see the image of this generator, which is quite a large piece of kit on the screen now. Between 2 p.m. on Thursday the 18th of July and 7:30 a.m. on Saturday the 20th of July, a Doosan generator and compressor was stolen from a farm in Marnhall. The generator is described as a large commercial generator that is white in colour and had the letters CES written on it. Due to the weight of the generator, it's suspected a vehicle with a crane may have been used to steal the items. Police Constable Sebastian Haggett of Dorset Police Rural Crime Team said, "We are carrying out an investigation into the theft of these high value items. We appreciate the location is very rural, but we are appealing for anyone who may have seen anything suspicious in the area during the relevant time frame to please get in touch. It is quite possible that the vehicle involved has travelled through Marnhall, and we would ask anyone who has CCTV to check it and get in touch if they see anything relevant to our inquiries. We are also issuing an image of a similar compressor to the one that was stolen and would ask anyone who has seen one matching the description for sale in unusual circumstances to please come forward." Now, they're quite a large device. I think the one stolen was white, but it's this sort of size of the one that's got Sydenham Tyre on it on the screen now. Now, if you know anything about this or you've seen one in suspicious circumstances, you can contact Dorset Police on 101, or you can give information anonymously via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Now, victims can now opt to speak to a police officer over a live video rather than seeing them in person following the launch of an enhanced video response. Where there is no immediate threat, risk or harm requiring officers to attend in person there and then, victims are being given the choice of speaking to an officer over live video for inquiries to be conducted and statements to be taken. The new initiative is completely victim-led, giving them greater choice in how they can interact with Dorset Police, and if the victim prefers to see an officer in person, that will always continue to be available. Assistant Chief Constable Steve Lyne of Dorset Police said, "We recognise that society is changing and victims tell us they want other ways to engage with us. We know that for many they prefer the convenience of speaking to us over a video call where they can engage more openly and they don't feel anxious at the thought of a police car outside their home address." The initiative was trialled over a 4-month period during the summer last year, and 89% of victims who took part said they would recommend it to others. When a victim is reporting a crime or incident, a risk assessment will take place, and if there is no immediate threat, risk or harm, and the report doesn't require emergency attendance, they will be offered a physical or virtual response. A virtual response has been chosen by a complete cross-section of society, with the oldest victim being an 84-year-old man who was reporting an assault from the previous day and was happy to talk to an officer via his smartphone. Enhanced video response also enables Dorset police officers to offer better value for money to the taxpayer, with increased efficiency, better use of officer time and a reduction in vehicle costs, fuel and maintenance. With the force's fleet of over 450 vehicles typically travelling 3.7 million miles per year, the reduction in carbon emissions and wider environmental impact is significant too. For a victim to opt for virtual response, they must be over the age of 18 or with a parent guardian present, have use of a smartphone with video and a 4G or Wi-Fi capability, and the offender cannot be present. There we go. Now, there's a next of kin appeal from the coroner for Dorset. The coroner for Dorset is seeking the assistance of the public to find the next of kin of a woman who lived in Longstone Close on Portland. Patricia Irons, who was 70 years old, died at an address in Weymouth on Sunday the 21st of July 2024. Her death is not being treated as suspicious and no police investigation is needed into the death. Coroner's officer Lucy Manuel said, "We are not treating the death as suspicious, however we have not been able to locate her next of kin. If any member of the public has any knowledge of her family members, please contact us as soon as possible on 01202 123 900. So that's Patricia Irons from Longstone Close on Portland, who died on the 21st of July at an address in Weymouth. If you know anything about her next of kin or family members, do give Lucy Manuel at the Coroner's Office a call on 01202 123 900. Exceptional young people in care were celebrated for their achievements at a special award ceremony this week, which was followed by a private screening of the new Despicable Me film. Young people were joined by their foster carers, social workers, teachers and educational support staff for the Dorset Virtual School Awards, which took place at the Odeon Cinema in Dorchester. There were nominations for Outstanding Progress and Effort for 158 young people in 3 age groups. There was an additional category for exceptional contribution to the wider community, where children and young people were recognised for their contributions outside of their academic schooling. For example, through mentoring, taking part in clubs, volunteering or fundraising. One young person was recognised for their work as a member of the Youth Parliament and their campaigning work on behalf of period poverty. Another was commended for volunteering at the Bath and West Show and for helping at the Rylands Farm with its day-to-day running. Each child in care has a designated teacher who is responsible for championing their educational needs in their school. The awards recognise 3 designated teachers who have gone above and beyond for our children and young people and have been a true advocate for them. Now, if you'd like to know more about fostering with Dorset Council, of course these are all children that were in care and fostered, then you can go to the Dorset Council special fostering website, which is fosterwithdorsetcouncil.com. fosterwithdorsetcouncil.com. There we go. Right, Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service are today launching a brand new campaign to educate and inform residents about the dangers in their kitchen. During 2023, 1/3 of the kitchen fires attended by Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue were in the homes of people aged over 65 and living alone. Common causes of these fires were cooking being left unattended, items being left on hot cooker hobs such as tea towels and kitchen appliances, and metal objects placed in microwaves. The Cook with Care campaign is designed to reduce this figure with a focus on preventing cooking related incidents and making residents safer in their homes. Cook with Care has 4 key themes to help reduce kitchen fires. Prepare, and that's about making sure before you start cooking that you create a clear space and you clear away things like tea towels and cloths that could catch fire. Prevent, that's about never putting anything other than pots and pans on your cooker hob, even if you finish cooking, because the hob will remain hot for some time. Focus, that's not leaving cooking unattended. Avoid cooking if you're tired or you've been drinking alcohol or taking medication that means you will be drowsy. And stay safe. Keep the oven, hob and grill clean, as a build-up of fat or grease can catch fire when hot. And making sure you switch things off when you finish cooking and you take things off the hob, and particularly when you go out or obviously go up to bed. Now, over the coming weeks, firefighters will be delivering leaflets and posters with the campaign's key messages to community locations such as pharmacies, GP surgeries and post offices. Advertising and social media will also encourage families to consider signing up relatives who may need some more support at home for a safe and well visit. And Dorset and Wilts Fire and Rescue will also be working with partners and housing providers to reach the most vulnerable residents in Dorset and Wiltshire and educate them on safer cooking behaviours. Now, there's more information on the Dorset and Wilts Fire and Rescue website, and you can get that at www.dwfire.org.uk/safety-at-home. And anyone who's got an older friend or relative who lives alone is asked to share the advice with them and check that they are doing things safely. And finally, in our news headlines tonight, between the 24th of June and the 5th of July, the Takeover Challenge saw 28 young people take over some of the top roles and responsibilities at Dorset Council and step into the shoes of key decision makers. The Takeover Challenge is a national campaign that allows young people to experience the workplace, inform decisions and have their voices heard. Throughout the challenge, young people shared their thoughts on key campaigns and proposals, and their feedback will go on to shape or help shape the support that is available to Dorset's children and families. The activities the young children undertook range from chairing key meetings being part of the interview panel for Youth Voice team, singing at the Youth Grant panel, sitting on the Youth Grant panel, and presenting at the Education Conference and the Strategic Alliance Conference to an audience of approximately 200 people. Their presentations at the conference focused on health and well-being for young people. This is a topic of immense importance to young people in Dorset, with it being voted for in the Make Your Mark campaign that took place in Dorset schools earlier this year. Now you can find out more about the Takeover Challenge and other activities events that Dorset's young people can get involved in by going to the Dorset Youth Voice website. Now to find that, you just go to Google, the search engine, and you type in Dorset Youth Voice, and it will take you to that page on the Dorset Council website. That's the end of our headlines this week. And next this evening, it's time for our regular contributor Andrew Wright and this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend sees the release of the long-awaited Deadpool and Wolverine, the 34th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the film that incorporates the old Fox X-Men film series into the MCU. The film stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman reprising their roles from the X-Men film series as Deadpool and Wolverine, and revolves around Reynolds' Wade Wilson being recruited by the Time Variance Authority, primarily seen in the Disney Plus series Loki, and he gets put on a mission with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine that will change the history of the MCU. And it's also the first 15-rated Marvel film for language that was continued from the first two Deadpool films, so it's quite sweary. So I saw the film on Thursday. I was really excited. I absolutely loved it. It was a perfect love letter to pretty much just to Marvel in general, both the Disney era Marvel and the non-Disney era stuff. I can't say what because it's so much, because it'd be spoiling it. But yeah, it was just a massive love letter. And yeah, great performances from Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I gave the film 5 stars out of 5. Really blew me away. This week saw the release of the vampire horror movie Abigail on home video. The film stars Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens and Alicia Weir, and is an adaptation of the classic Universal monster movie Dracula's Daughter. It's an adaptation. It never officially says it's an adaptation, but it's sort of, that's what it is. It's like the Invisible Man and Renfield films, those like adaptations of the Universal classics but putting new spins on it. So Abigail revolves around a newly hired group of criminals who they've all been hired for this job. They kidnap the daughter of a powerful crime boss, only for increasingly sinister events to start taking place while they wait for the ransom on her. So I checked this film out because I'm a fan of the director's latest work, as they directed the last 2 Scream films, and those are the only 2 Scream films that I like. So I was actually really excited to check this one out. And I have to say that this film was better than I thought it would be. The cast were impressive, with young actress Alicia Weir being incredibly talented. And she was Matilda in Matilda the Musical, the movie, and she was great in that. So she was great in this as well. And the film was quite suspenseful and smart. So I really enjoyed that. My only negative note about it would be the film was unnecessarily gory, because we've seen on like network TV stuff like Vampire Diaries and the originals and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need to have 18 rated gore to do a vampire movie. You just don't. I gave the film 4 stars out of 5. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be previewing Harold and the Purple Crayon. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew, and we'll be back with Andrew next week for his film review and preview. It's time in the programme now where we go to the Met Office for the weekend weather forecast, and this week we are joined by Honor Krizik. Honor Krizik, that's a new name for us, so we join over to Honor now.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, if you're on the hunt for some summer sunshine, I might have some good news for you, though it is going to be a bit of an unsettled start to the weekend with some rain and some showers. And the reason for this is that we have a frontal feature moving its way in from the west, bringing that unsettled start. But high pressure building in the Atlantic is moving across the country, which means a fine and settled end to the weekend. You might still need your brolly this afternoon though, plenty of scattered showers across the country. It's going to be one of those days where it's fairly changeable, dry 1 minute and then you'll catch some rain the next. And some of these showers could be quite heavy, particularly across southern parts of Scotland and northern England. May even hear the odd rumble of thunder this afternoon. The driest of the weather is going to be across the south and southeast, and that's where we see the best of the temperatures. Highs of around 24 Celsius, but elsewhere low teens, high 20s, so still feeling pleasant where you do catch that sunshine. Now into the evening there will still be a few showers lingering on, particularly across eastern parts of northern England and Scotland. But on the whole it is going to be a largely dry night, feeling cooler than of late, and under those prolonged clear spells we're likely to see some mist and fog patches develop, particularly in those rural spots. But most towns and cities likely remaining in the low double digits. So some mist and fog patches around to start on Sunday, but plenty of dry sunshine too. And as that high pressure builds, we're going to see a largely settled day, plenty of warm sunshine on offer. And where those temperatures struggle today, that's where they'll improve on Sunday. There may just be a bit more cloud in the northwest as this next feature moves its way in, but on the whole, plenty of dry weather around, plenty of that warm sunshine. And we can see from those temperatures, it is going to be feeling warm, perhaps even a little bit hot at times across the southeast with highs of 26. So plenty of late evening sunshine, perfect weather for a barbecue, but into the northwest through the evening we will see some cloud move its way in, perhaps a little bit of rain overnight too, and leading to another largely dry night, perhaps even seeing more of that mist and fog by the time we reach dawn on Monday too. But for more updates on your weather this week, don't forget you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for all your latest weather updates. Bye for now.
Thank you very much there, Honor, and for the weekend weather forecast, a little bit better than we've had recently. Looking at our local weather, it's not working, hang on, we have a technical problem there, we can't look at our local weather. We shall have to see if we can get that fixed for next week's programme, but I'm sure the week ahead is going to be really nice. It's going to be quite warm from what I understand, so do put the sun cream on if you are going outside. Sorry I can't bring you the actual local weather there. Bit of a technical difficulty. Still not working. Okay, we'll move to the What's On section then. And first of all, looking at Weymouth Pavilion. 3rd of August, comedian Jimmy Carr. 8th of August, Joe Pasquale. 10th of August, Showaddy Waddy 50th Anniversary Tour. 15th of August, Rocket Man, a tribute to Elton John. 16th of August, Cole's Play, the world's leading Coldplay tribute. 17th of August, the Bowie Experience, and 22nd of August, the Magic of the Bee Gees. That's just a small sample of some of the stuff that's coming up this next 3 or 4 weeks. Do look at the Weymouth Pavilion website. There are an absolute amazing selection of shows on at the Pavilion. It's weymouthpavilion.com. And the box office, if you want tickets or more advice, is 01305 783 225. Now the Knowth Fort, 3rd of August, Songs in the Summer with Wessex Musical Theatre. 15th of August, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Summer fun at the Knowth, sort of family fun, runs from now all the way through to the 1st of September. And then at the end of September, 29th of September, their dog show, Pause for Fort. More information on the things at the Knowth Fort over the summer at www.knowthefort.org.uk. Also to remind you that if you're looking for something to do during the summer months, that the Arts Reach organisation has got lots of shows, lots of family stuff and lots of workshops like circus workshops and craft workshops, that sort of thing. They're throughout Dorset, and they are available to you. So pop along to their website at artsreach.co.uk to find out what they've got on, and maybe a little trip out, maybe a lunch out, maybe visit out one of the local villages, attend a circus workshop or something like that, and have a nice day out with the family. Reminding you that Abbotsbury and Portersham are celebrating their millennium. Lots of things going on there through to the end of the year, and their website for all of their events is map24.org, map24.org, for you to see what's going on there. The Thomas Hardy Conference has started today, the 27th of July, and runs through to next weekend, 3rd of August. It's in partnership with Dorset Town Council. Most of the activities are held in the United Church in South Street, Dorchester. Lots of things going on. Do search online for Thomas Hardy Society website, and all the information about the Thomas Hardy Conference 2024 is on the website there for you. I also mentioned a couple of times the Compton Abbas Air Show, and that is on the 10th and 11th of August, the Golden Age of Aviation Air Show. That's Guy Ritchie's Compton Abbas Airfield. Lots of things like old-fashioned planes and displays there, flying displays. It's certainly a good weekend out. I know somebody that goes to that each year. So do go online, ComptonAbbasAirshow.co, ComptonAbbasAirshow.co for more information on that. And I think that's about all of the what's on stuff. Other than to say, church services in Wyke tomorrow, 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church, 9:30 communion at All Saints Church, and a service at St Edmunds Lane House at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning tomorrow. Now, reminding you that our other quiz, our other programme, our quiz is on tonight at 7:30. You're all welcome to join us. It's free, it's family friendly, it's community friendly, it's for the whole community, and that starts promptly at 7:30. The feeds will be up at 7:20 if you would like to join us. That brings us to the end of this week's programme. If you've got any news, events or any information for us, do drop us a line. news@whiteregis.tv, news@whiteregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. Other than that, all I've got to say is I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the nice weather. Good week ahead. And I will be back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.